You spoke last night, actually, at the Buckley Institute in New York, and you said something really interesting to me. How do you have the adventure of your life, you asked the people there, including many students. And your answer was, tell the truth. And then it's so bloody interesting and engaging and exciting that it justifies the misery of your existence. What can I tell you? There are great books. Read them, ignore your professors. I did love that because actually there is a real power, isn't there, to the truth, particularly in this era, I think, where there's so much untruth and disinformation flying around. Actually being true to yourself is probably the most powerful thing you can be, I think.
I don't know if you guys caught that. No, you should not be true to yourself. You should be true to the truth. The truth is objective. The truth is not subjective. I don't know if you guys caught it, but what Piers Morgan was calling for, or what was he trying to sneak into the conversation, and probably trying to get what's his name, Jordan Peterson to kind of admit, is that there's such thing as my truth. I know you guys have heard that before. The idea of my truth. There's no such thing as my truth. There's only the truth. For example, when you, for example, the question of what is a woman, okay? Objectively speaking, a woman is someone who can give birth, who produces a certain amount of eggs, who has a cycle, who is psychologically more emotional, whose physiological appearance is different from that of a man. All right. So this is what a woman is. A woman can give birth, a man can't give birth. That's a clear difference. Okay. That's objective. Even if you feel like you're a woman, let's say you are a man and you feel like you're a woman, your feelings, does not make you a woman. That's just your feelings. That's just how you feel. But objectively speaking, all right, you are not a woman. So what he was trying to do there, and I think he thinks he's smart, but let's hear what Jordan Peterson says about it. But yeah, there's no such thing as my truth. All right, there's only the objective truth, and the truth does not care about your feelings. All right.
Well, you can think about that in two ways. I mean, the first way is, who are you if you lie? Now, I would say, well, you're false if you lie. That seems self-evident. If you're false when you lie, then who are you? You're not you. And so then whatever happens to you when you lie, that isn't happening to you. And the theological view of that is that whatever happens to you when you lie is happening to the spirit of the lie. Right, and the spirit of the lie, classically speaking, is a demonic spirit. And so whatever success you accrue as a consequence of lying isn't your success. It accrues to the glory of the spirit who lies. And
for a person to lie, there must be an objective truth. For a person to even be capable of lying, an objective truth must be placed. That's what will judge the lie. All right. Because if it was all about how you feel, if the truth was subjective, then anything could be the truth. Anything can be the truth. But because we have objective truth, we know whether a person is lying or telling the truth.
And that's a very bad idea. But then as well, the adventurous element of the truth is associated with the following idea. I mean, I could come on this interview, let's say, and I could have been thinking this morning, well, what in the world do I want to accomplish if I get to talk to Piers Morgan? I'm going to talk to several million people. How can I grow my brand? How can I use this opportunity to ensure that people feel better about me or admire me more, or something hypothetically self-serving, eh? But it's not self-serving exactly. It would serve a very narrow part of myself. It would serve the narcissistic, self-aggrandizing, whim-oriented, hedonistic element of myself. And maybe I would confuse that with myself, but that would be foolish. And then maybe I would get what I aimed at, and I'd have an impressive conversation with Piers Morgan, and that would redound temporary to my glory, and I would walk away satisfied. But the problem with that is it's a stupid goal. And if I attained it, that would just make me successful at being a of being foolish and narcissistic, and the consequence of doing that repeatedly would be that I would become more and more foolish and narcissistic. And there's no success in that. Even if I got rich doing that, I'd be rich and pathetic, and that's not helpful. And alternatively, I could come on here and I could just try to say what I believe to be the case, and then that would be me, and it would be the truth, and then I would be aligned with reality, which seems like a good idea, because if it's you against reality, like, good luck to you. But there's more to it, Piers, because, see, if I want to come onto your program saying, just say what I think, I have to throw caution to the wind. I can't be calculating the outcome. I can't be, like, what would you say, referring to an opinion poll and telling people what they want to.
No, he's getting into the whole adventure stuff and all of that. But yeah, again, he's speaking of there being an objective reality. And you can ignore it as much as you want, but that will not necessarily define your purpose, or that will not fulfill your purpose in while you exist. It won't fulfill your purpose, regardless of how much money you make, regardless of how successful you do it. It will not fulfill that purpose of existence. So that's what he's getting at. But yeah, but now he's bringing it. He's bringing it to the adventure of what basically he's going to get at. It's more adventurous to tell the truth than to not to tell the truth. So let's see what he says.
Here, I just have to lay it on the line, and to do that, I have to let go of the outcome. But the cool thing, here's the cool thing: if you let go of the outcome, you don't know what's going to happen. And then that's so interesting, really.
And that defines the adventure, because you don't know what's going to happen. All right? If you let go of the outcome and you just tell the truth, if you just tell the truth and let that happen, and let that be that, some people will get triggered, some will love you for it, some will hate you for it, and that in itself defines the adventure of life. And that in a sense is where the real fulfillment, this is what he's saying, the real fulfillment lies, which is, I've just told the truth, and look at what's happening. Now you've got to deal with the outcome, you've got to deal with the reaction that you're going to get, and therein lies the adventure. So that's what he's getting at.
That it's almost unbearable, and that is definitely something so interesting that it's almost unbearable. That's an adventure. And then you get to have an adventure, and then you think, wow, well, this is so interesting. Maybe it's worth sticking around for and trudging through the misery just to see how it ends. And I do believe you capture that in a relationship with the truth.
Yes.
I truly believe that. I don't mean
agree.
that mystically even.
I agree. And what's fascinating, actually, is that whenever I've interviewed you or done your podcast...
Yep, and that's basically it. That's what... But... Look, guys, there's an objective truth, all right? There is no such thing as my truth. My truth doesn't exist. That's a lie. That comes from Do As Thy Will, Aleister Crowley. It's a satanic occult idea, and it's currently ruling the entire world, all right? Feminism comes out of that, Do As Thy Will. And hence why you've got abortion laws and all of that type of stuff. So to facilitate this idea that you should just do whatever you want, regardless of the outcome. All right, and if the outcome goes against you, we've got things in place, including killing a baby, that will kind of still allow you to continue living your degenerate lifestyle. But the truth is, there's no such thing as my truth. What there is an objective reality. Okay, and remember, truth is that which closest truth is that truth is that which closest corresponds to reality. Sorry, truth is that which closest corresponds to reality. So there is such thing as truth. We can objectively see it. We can objectively look at it. We can objectively realize it. So there is such thing as objective truth. But what what Piers Morgan was trying to do was trying to get him to admit that there is such thing as my truth, which there isn't. This ideology of my truth will literally lead everyone to believe that anything can be the truth. And all you have to do is just feel that way, and therefore it is true, and therefore we must accept it. A boy will deny his biological reality because he feels like a girl. Okay, even though he's got testosterone running through his body, even though he's bigger than a woman, even though he's got the anatomy of a male, and so on and so forth, he will ignore all that reality in order to justify how he feels. And this world is allowing that to happen, so that this idea of my truth, this idea that it's all about how you feel, can continue. But of course, Piers Morgan tried it. What do you call it? And Jordan Peterson, I think, did an all right job answering it, but it could have been a little bit more direct with it, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that reaction. Salute. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and comment. All right. I'm always replying. So guys, take care.